out. Hello, my COVID friends. Here we go. What we're doing today, you need to write this word down as I'm looking for my little pen here. We are doing what's called officially it's called trinomial factoring. Why? Why is Bordy being so weird today? Trinomial factoring. I call it, because Mrs. Tarantino always has weird ways of calling things, I refer to this as, gosh, I don't know what's happening. Sorry. Look at now, it's just doing weird little dots. Go away. I'm just done with you. You see that? X factoring. I refer to it as the X factor. Okay? We're going to X factor. The minute I show it to you, most of you are going to be like, oh yeah. Some of your geometry teachers were awesome and they reviewed this with you last year. Some did not. So we're going to be reaching into our little brains and seeing if we could suck this out. Our job is to take a three-parter. So here's what I need you to notice. Yesterday, that's a two-parter. That was a two-parter. That's why it's called binomial. Today is a three-parter. Check this out. One part, two part. Really, you're just going to do this all day to me, aren't you, bored? Two parts, three parts, right? This is trinomial factoring. And what we want to do is take this guy and rewrite him as two little parentheses, right? Remember what factoring is. It's taking a number like 12 and saying, can I rewrite that as like 3 times 4, right? All I'm doing is rewriting. That's all I'm doing. I'm not really changing anything. I'm just rewriting it in a new way. So we're going to rewrite this like this into the... It's going to be a whole flipping day of this. We're going to rewrite this as this. Is that cool? That's our job. And now let's see if you remember how to do this. Remember we would make that X thing? Remember that? And we would take the factors of 20, two numbers that multiply to be 20, and add up to be that guy. Add up to be 9. You kind of remember that, right? Yeah. So I need two numbers. It's always multiply at the end. The end guy is always multiply. They need to multiply to be the end guy. So, like, I'm not even spelling things right. I'm just adding letters. So two numbers that multiply to be 20 and add to be 9 are 4 and 5. You got it. 4 and 5. And you know what? 4 plus 5, positive 4 plus positive 5 makes 20. So these are both positive numbers. So watch what I'm going to write. N plus 4, N plus 5. Couple things to note. Could you put them in opposite order? Yes, because 3 times 2 and 2 times 3 are the same. So some of you might say, Miss Thierry, what if I wrote N plus 5, N plus 4? That's cool too. But as we go along, you need to be careful, girls. Stop. You need to be careful of your signs. Okay, everybody else, let's see how if you remember this. Can you try that one? We're looking, this is a three-parter. That's what's different from yesterday. So this is a three-parter. I feel like, well, I don't know. Maybe a different color will look good. Factors of 24, two numbers that multiply to be 24, and this guy helps me. That means add to be 10. Two numbers that multiply to be 24, but add to be 10. That sign tells you what to do. I just kind of go backwards in my head. Multiply to be 24, add to be positive 10. So the only thing that's tricky, you got it? 6 and 4. The only thing that's tricky here is if you're not great at your multiplication tables, sometimes this is a pain in the butt, right? So if you got 6 and 4, you are awesome. You're going to drop that into your parentheses, and this is factor. And here's why. And if you're thinking, what the heck? Watch what you could do if you wanted to. You do not have to, but if you plot this, you get back to where we started. I'm just going to prove that to you. A times A is A squared. A times 4 is 4A. 6, really, I hate you board today. 6 times A is 6A, and 6 times 4 is 24. So finally, it's going to be A squared. Those combine 10A plus 24. And now you can see it's two things that multiplied to be 24 and added to make 10. So, but this is the answer I'm looking for. Okay, so far so good? Okay, we're going to step it up a little bit. I'm going to lobster you. That means, put you in a pot of water. I'm going to turn up the water, heat a little bit. That's how you could cook a lobster. Okay, this one's a little bit trickier, right? A little bit trickier. Watch what we're thinking on this one, you got it?
Is that button why it's like now, the one with the multiple times?
Touch it. Come touch what you think it is. Oh, maybe. I don't think it is. I don't know. Sometimes I have to start it and stop it. Okay. Is it still taping? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, you guys ready? Let's get our X going. One time I thought it was broken, and it was just this leaning on the board and it made the board mad. And then one year it almost caught on fire. Oh. Yeah, and that was bad. And someone, it turned on the off-on switch, melted completely. It was bad. It was really bad. Okay, factors of 24 that add to be, careful here, negative 11. So here's what's going to have to happen. I'm going to need two numbers that make 11 by adding, but they're both going to be negative, right? Because if I put them together, they've got to make a positive 24, but if I put them together, they got to make a negative 11, right? So on this one, it's going to be two negative numbers. Does someone know what the two negative numbers are? 8 and, so close, 8 and 3. There you go. Negative 8, negative 3, right? So be careful. We're going to put this in as x minus 8, x minus 3, right? I love hearing that. That means you remember it. Try that one. Again, I feel like I'm just getting those wheels returning again. Like, oh, yeah. Not I'm the pro at this, but her algebra 1 teacher was awesome. She taught it. She had my daughter. Factors of 50, nice and careful, that are going to add, right? That we're going to put them together in a good way, but they're going to make negative 15. Here's what I tell myself. If that's a plus sign, the signs are going to match. And if that's negative, it means they're both going to be negative. Two negative numbers that make 15 are going to be negative 10 and 5, negative 10 and negative 5. Hey, do I care which order they go in? No, but make sure the negative goes with them, right? X minus 10, it just doesn't matter what I do. X minus 5. Okay, stepping up our game a little bit, lobsters. Going to get a little hotter. This one gets weird. Here's where they get a little weird. Because on this one, we're going to think about it a little bit differently. We're still going to say the factors of negative 8, but this time they're going to subtract to be 2. So here's what I want you to think about. When you multiply two numbers and you answer as negative, one of your things has to be positive and one has to be negative. That's how they subtract, right? So you're going to get something like 6 minus 3 or 8, which would be positive, minus 11, something like that. So here's what I'm thinking about. Two numbers that multiply to be 8 but subtract to be 2. What are those two numbers?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. Now here's where it gets weird. I want the answer to be positive 2. So is it 4 take away 2 or 2 take away 4? 4 take away 2. So look what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the negative right there. Does that make sense? That's 4 take away 2, right? So when you put it in your parentheses, be very careful. Really, I just hate you now, board. Be very careful that you keep the right sign with the right number, right? Okay, a bit of lobster you. Try this one all on your own. It's so nice if you read it backwards. Factors of 45 that subtract to be 4. One will be positive, one will be negative. Look, you have to take the test tomorrow, right? You don't take it, right? Then you here when oh. I wasn't no, not free job. Yeah, I just looked over. I thought, oh, do I need to remind her? I like that too. How do we do? Factors of 45. Well, you said the check. Mimi? Yeah. So factors of 45. Two numbers that multiply to be 45, but when you subtract them, make 4. What? No, someone's got those. Yeah, 5 and 9. Yeah. So here's what I do. I just write them down first, and then I think to myself, I need it to be positive 4. So that would be 9. Take away 5. C plus 9. C minus 5. Now, last one, best one, and then I'm shutting up. Be careful on this one. Factors of 63 that subtract to be negative 2. Be careful on this one. Watch your negatives and positives. And if you got this, you got this. I'm impressed with you. 9 and 7, huh? Like I said, it's just knowing your multiplication tables. But here's where you gotta get tricky. I want it to be a negative 2. So which one is negative, the 9 or the 7? The 9 is. Good girl, good girl. Here's why. If I go 9, take away 7, I get positive 2. But I want negative 2. So it would be 7 take away 9. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think you left them. I was wearing them all. My ear do. Okay, so the answer, B minus 9 and B plus 7. So just be careful. Watch your pluses and minuses. That's the only trick to these. You guys did great. I'm freakishly impressed by you.